bear with me, but I'm really excited to show you guys some work, even if no one watches. Can't hear. Even if no one watches or hears. We're just gonna turn off the music until I can get it figured out. So I did lower the music. It is on 6 on my computer, so I don't know why it's so loud. But what we're gonna be working on today is my Snow Scout. So the base for this is the Hasbro, just regular Black Series Snow Trooper. And I ordered the kit from, of course, GI Trooper kits on Etsy. Oh, hey, so Ramen Fitzy, my auto mod is trying to ban you, so maybe chill out. Maybe I can try, maybe I should reposition the mic. Okay, live, boom, we're gonna fix it. Okay. How's the voice now? Is it a little better? Let me go ahead and we can zoom in just a little bit so you can actually see what's going on. Oh, a little bit less. So yeah, like I was saying, GI Trooper kits, amazing prints as always. This one actually had a flex print, the F69 resin for this, I don't even know what to call it, the abdomen armor with the straps. Makes it really easy to install. I didn't have to Dremel anything on this figure. I'm trying to double check. Let's see. Yeah, no dremeling. It was just heat everything up, put it right on. So nice, really easy to work with. For such an interesting character, the only time that I had any experience with Snow Scouts, never heard of them except when I was younger, Hasbro had a Legacy battle pack that had just Hoth Scout Troopers, right? And they were just repaints of regular Scouts as far as I can remember. So nothing special, but I'm a sucker for anything to do with like camouflage in Star Wars on Troopers. I think it's so cool because these guys are white. You're not blending in anywhere, so I really like that they managed to make them Snow Scouts and just make a little more sense. I didn't do any painting on the undersuit. The main reason for that, I wanted to match my Snow Trooper on the shelf, right? So the same weathering that you're gonna see on this guy, I'm gonna do on my Snow Trooper. I just really like this off-white, tan, canvasy looking color for the undersuit. I know a lot of people repaint. I think the 501st costumes have the undersuit as more of like a gray white, but you know, they're not in the movies, so I want to do it the way I want it on my shelf. The white paint is White Scar Citadel spray can. Best white primer that you can use for your troopers, in my opinion. Super easy. You won't get that kind of slight pinkish hue to your whites like Hasbro has on their snow troopers and stormtroopers, but I like this way more. I just think it pops and looks great to weather. All right, so I think that's out of the way. So what we're going to be doing today, as you can see, I pretty much have everything done as far as the main painting goes. This was all done off camera. GI Trooper Kits also has these incredible hands that come with the kit. And you have so many options. You've got fists, splayed out hands, just relaxed, chilling around the snow dunes hands. And then I repainted the regular hands that come with the Trooper, because honestly, these are my favorite hands for Troopers. I'm not a big 3D printed hands guy. Most of the time, and it's nothing against any 3D printers, or even because I print myself too. These pegs just love to snap off in your figure's wrist joints, and it's just such a pain. And plus, who wants to sit there and paint 10 pairs of hands for your trooper? But man, it is worth it sometimes, and I think for this guy it's going to be really worth it. He has so many different accessories we can do. Kit comes with these amazing binoculars, awesome model. We're going to be touching up these a little bit. I want to add almost a reddish hue on the lenses, just because I think plain gloss black looks a little too simple, a little too basic. Let me get these hands out of the way. We also have his DLT-19 Sniper. I think it's the DLT-19X. You might wonder, why is this painted metallic gray? Every blaster in Star Wars is just plain black, especially in the original trilogy. Well, I don't want this guy to have just a black blaster with some weathering. I want it to look unique and different. I'm thinking of even doing a wooden stock, like an actual MG34, just so he stands out a little bit more on the shelf. I already have a few troopers with the DLT-19, and they're all just black, weathered, and I want it to be a little different. I really love this kit, so I want to make it pop. And so like I said at the beginning, we are going to actually be doing these water slide decals for this kit. It's going to be really frustrating. I hate doing water slides, but man, you cannot beat it for actually making your figures look detailed. I don't know. The only person that comes to mind that would be able to paint this stuff is BebArt on Instagram. He is amazing. They are just perfect. He does everything by hand. I don't know if he's used a single decal. I don't know how. It's inhuman. He's awesome. Beb, if you ever see this, you're incredible. But so we're going to be doing the process. GI Trooper, he recommends cutting them out, letting them soak in water for 30 seconds, taking them out, and then you just lightly pull the decal off, slide it in position, dab it dry. First, what we're going to do, I would recommend anyone, if you're going to do water slide decals, put down a gloss varnish. Most people will tell you to put down a gloss varnish, right? I'm not a genius or anything. What that does is gives your decal a nice flat surface to adhere to. Then we are actually going to be trying to use Microset and Microsol. I want to be very careful with this though, because I think the last time I used Microset and Microsol on specifically GI Trooper kits decals, I had some deterioration of the actual decals themselves because the detail is amazing. So it's just about preserving that onto the figure. So hopefully we don't mess this up. But for now, what we're going to do is go ahead and gloss coat all of our areas that are going to be getting a decal. All right. Get this cardboard out of the way for now. So first step, I don't know what any of these icons are, right? We do have the mouth vent, and it's just there. It's not like a clone trooper or stormtrooper helmet where you have essentially teeth to paint in between. These are just, it's just a flat surface, right? So I would rather use the decal and put right up there. And then we have the ventilation holes for the back of the helmet. And we have, I really love this decal. Let me see if I can get it to focus in. The one in the middle there will go on the top side here. And then just another vent hole, and then these two actually go in these indentations on the back. And I don't know about you guys, I don't ever put on a decal or anything without looking at some reference pictures, just to make sure I know what I'm talking about. Because no matter what, you can't change it. Why should you gloss coat the areas for the decals? Oh, so great question. So the reason that you want to gloss coat before you put on a decal is paint by itself just isn't a smooth enough surface for a decal to adhere to. So whenever you do a gloss coat, it essentially does a thick layer on top of your paint that's nice and smooth so that the decal can adhere the best that it can. Great question. But yeah, without it, you can make the decals work, but you won't get, there's a difference between a decal that looks painted on and a decal that looks like a sticker. And so you get a lot more of the painted on look whenever you use the gloss coat. And once you apply the decal, you're going to seal it with like a matte. You'll use the same varnish, just in matte, and then you can coat it however you want, right? Like your final product will be whatever, what would you call it? Whatever sheen that you want it to be. You just have to do a liquid matte varnish first so that you don't damage your decals. All right. All right, let's see if you guys can see. Whoa. I'm just gonna gloss coat, and honestly, I'm gonna kind of be really liberal with this gloss coat. Because like I said, I really hate wasting decals. It makes me so sad because you can't get them again unless you reorder. And I am not a patient person. I try to be. But when it comes to my figures, I really like to get them done when I want them done. Man, I got a lot of responsibilities, so my painting time is precious to me. And don't mean to be off cam, just trying to be sure that I get all of these areas varnished up so we can get these decals on right. Sorry about the camera. I need to figure out why it is going into standby mode. Amateur. I'll gladly take the bullying. Not enough. And I do thin my gloss coat just a tad. Because one thing about gloss coat, don't let there be air bubbles. Be sure you get a nice smooth finish. Alright, so we've got the mouth. Vents on the back, vents on the front. And so this big hoop black piece, I don't know what to call these things in Star Wars, guys. There's so many weird things. So that one actually goes around the mouthpiece. I just painted that one by hand. This decal would be so frustrating to put on for me personally, so I'd rather just paint it. And I just cleaned it up with a good, sharp X-Acto, and you won't have any problems. All about trial and error. If you make a mistake, paint over, start again. Okay. So now we just gotta let this guy dry. And while we let that dry, I'm gonna grab some, basically this blaster is going to get just a dousing of Nuln Oil from Citadel. That's like a meme, I know, but hey, listen, that's what it's going to get because I think it's going to add just this really cool, grimy, winterized rifle look because at the end, we're going to go through and touch it up with some snow weathering powders. This is essentially makeup for your figures, guys. If you've never seen these weathering powders, they're amazing. I swear by them. They look realistic. To me, it actually looks like dust blown, snow blown, whatever you're going for. Soot is really good. Like this guy's gonna get some soot on his legs. So let me grab that wash. Well, damn, I lied. I don't have all of my paints up here like I thought. So this is also a new setup, so bear with me. I might have to be pausing, coming back a few times. It's a brand new little painting office for myself, but now I'm discovering I don't have everything where I wanted it to be. But while looks like this is almost dry, our gloss coat, the gloss coat did not go on. I don't know if you can see in the camera, you see how this back piece is so shiny. And then you have the top of the visor that's not shiny at all. For some reason, our gloss did not go on. So we're gonna reapply. You could use chalk pastels for weathering dust. That probably really would save some money. But also, so Tamiya is amazing for scale modeling, painting, figures, whatever you can think of. I have went away from their paints so much just because I'm tired of having to thin paints to the degree that you have to with Tamiya. So if I can support them a little bit, I'll buy their weathering stuff for now, even though it is expensive. But man, I'm telling you, it's worth it. So worth it. All right. Now what we can do, go ahead and cut out some decals. But I've never thought of actually making my own paint supplies, right? I will gladly swipe the credit card to get some nice material. But having colors, unique colors, especially, I'm really liking Halo. I love Halo. I've loved it since I was a kid. And I think some of that kind of weathering would be really beneficial to have some different colors that aren't really earthly. Whenever you do water slides, you want to cut as close as you can to the actual picture that you're trying to put on your troopers or your figures, whatever you're doing, because otherwise, remember we were talking earlier about that painted on look? The more just plain white sticker that you have, it's really easy to get lost and see it doesn't look painted on anymore. So if you can take the time and really pay attention and have a sharp knife, it will really benefit you for making those decals look like someone in 1/12 scale, some Imperial, actually put those stickers on their armor or painted that stuff on their armor. It's even more noticeable the smaller scale that you go. Okay. And I think what I want to do is do these one at a time. Like I said, water slides really frustrate me and scare me because I don't want to have to rebuy things and wait. And then this helmet is just held on by sticky tack. Excuse me. Blue tack is amazing for your figures. You're not going to damage any paint. And another thing I always do, I always look up, do I use microset first or microsol first? Can't help it. I am so nervous to break my figures and ruin things. New favorite streamer. Okay, that's a big compliment. Oh my goodness, I'm trying. Here we go. Actually, I am missing Q-tips. Q-tips are going to be your best friend for doing water slides because you can use a dry one to pad out any excess water, and you can use a wet Q-tip to actually position your decals. Because once you get those on there, once they stick, it's really hard to get them to move. Be right back. Definitely need a be right back screen. I think I'm going to be running a lot. And let me go ahead. This is no longer a test. We're going to call this Black Series Snow Scout, work in progress. All right. We gotta get started. I hate this. Okay. I forgot my tweezers, no. I'm an amateur, be nice to me. All right. So now we are gonna take So now we see a tiny little decal, right? Okay, so just for scale purposes, look, these decals are tiny and we're gonna get a lot smaller. This one is actually the largest of the set. So all you do, bring our water over. I'm gonna try to show the whole process, guys. I really want for this to be an all-inclusive.
Did you hook up your mic to the camera?
No.
Your sound is coming through the camera.
Yeah.
With the mic.
With the mic?
Is your mic hooked up to the camera?
I don't know. No, it's not. It's hooked up to the computer. Okay. So am I delayed or no?
No, there's no delay, but I think it's picking up the sound from the camera rather than the mic.
Oh.
Because whenever the camera goes on standby, you can't hear you.
Oh. That's a problem.
And then, what the fuck? Also, am I banned?
No, you're not.
They won't let me type anymore.
I allowed what you said. Maybe Twitch banned you.
Are you serious?
So I'm letting this soak for 30 seconds. I don't know.
I didn't say.
But this is stuff we'll have to fix tomorrow.
All
I want to
said
paint.
was that glazing, and then it banned me.
Oh, I didn't even. Yeah, it banned you. I didn't do that.
Oh.
Well. Yeah. I don't know what that is. Okay. So now we have to let all this excess water come off of this decal. We are not gonna. I don't know how to get rid of messages. We're gonna have to figure that out. Okay. So now we'll take a little bit of the micro set. And this stuff stinks if you use it at home. It stinks. It smells like vinegar. Brush that on. reference picture one more time. All right. Remember I was talking about we're going to get a Q-tip wet to help us move around our decal. There we go. No! See, this is the problem. It sticks to your fingers. That's why you're not supposed to use your fingers. Okay, and it's kind of in the wrong spot. It's a little too left. So now we're going to try to get it nice and wet. And move it. If it's going to let me. Oh man, are we about to see our first fail live on stream? No, we're not. Oh, okay. No. All right. So according to our reference, it just goes on this back, I don't know, round part of the helmet, and it goes kind of parallel to the other bigger helmet vents. All right, so once you have your decal where you want it to be, take the dry end, be sure you're using the dry end of your Q-tip, and you're just gonna lightly press to get all of the water out. You have to get all of the water out for your decal to actually, first of all, adhere, and then second, for it to get that nice painted on look, or not even painted on, right? You just want it to look natural. You don't want it to look like someone slapped a sticker on a piece of armor. You want it to look real as Star Wars can look. And you see, we actually did get a little bit, I don't know if you can see it in the camera, we got a little bit of degradation on the decal, unfortunately, but guess what? It's on the back of the head. So we're gonna let it ride. All right. Oh, went the wrong way with it. And you can go ahead and soak up the excess water off of the rest of your model too, just to make sure it doesn't mess with anything. But yeah, hey, not bad. Now we're gonna let that dry. And we're gonna let that sit. All right, so next one. What is that? Unfortunately, unfortunately, I don't know what to do. Some decals are just different, right? I don't know if not using Microset and Microsol is the option or the better thing to do for his decals, because I'm telling you, his decals are amazing, and you won't find decals like his anywhere else, GI Trooper kits. But unfortunately, I just don't have the best luck with them sometimes. All right, and you know what? Okay, since I said it, next one is gonna be without any Microset, Microsol. Might have to turn off the USB power supply and maybe it won't go into standby. I am tech illiterate and don't know what that means. All right, but we're gonna keep rolling, because I want to get these decals on because it gives me so much anxiety. So next, you can't see. That's so tiny, this is stupid. Look at how tiny this is. Next, we are gonna do this little 3 lines, which goes centered right on the trooper's forehead above his visor. Another awesome just detail in Star Wars. Thank you, trooper designers, for making these tiny little details that I have to stress to paint. But man, I love it. Everyone wants accurate troopers, right? If you go on Instagram, any customs account is all about minute detail. It's kind of like, and no, I'm not knocking it, but like the 501st garrisons that do the stormtrooper costumes or clone trooper costumes, they're very detailed and you need accuracy. And I am in the camp of, as long as it's pretty close, I'm happy. These decals, they're necessary for it to be close, unfortunately. All right. Okay. Okay. According to his directions, it's 30 seconds. So now we just chat and wait. Stress. I've had the paper just fall off of my tweezers before and it breaks my heart. Close enough? All right. Let that water run off. So like I said, for this one, we are not going to do any... Oh, is it still wet? Perfect. Okay, so I transferred it onto the Q-tip so that I can hopefully just push it right in where it's accurate to the model. Boom. Not close at all. All right, now we stress. Okay, just get it wet. This one I'm not super stressed if this one doesn't work out, just because it's 3 lines. I can do a decent enough job with a paintbrush. I just really don't want to. Man, this is riveting. Please. Okay, let's get it wet again. Now also, if these stay wet too long, they just fall apart. Just so you guys know too, which is even more heartbreaking. You finally get it in position and then it just deteriorates. Oh, we're so close. Please. Oh, no. You're clinching, so am I. All right, we need like a clinch cam. That's wild. That's cooked. Be funny though. All right, got it. Look at that, centered. Squelching, if you will. What the fuck? All right. Okay, so now I'm gonna get a fresh, dry one. Damn you, camera. This is what I get for not being prepared. All right. See what I'm doing? It's just super light, delicate pushes, ensuring that all the water's out. It's just slightly crooked. We're gonna see if we can get it to move. Oh my God, we can? Okay. It's also in a shadow, so it's kind of hard to make sure. My toes are clenched right now, so you know, a pinky toe cam would be, I think it would be worth it. Be a good investment. Write that down for the next stream. Oh man, you guys are gonna get me banned already? Wasn't that already a thing? I watched a critical video on it. Twitch is a wild place. I'm just getting started. All right, we got it. Now we just take a break, take a little drink of water. One thing, be sure you do not be sure you don't leave any microset, microsol, gloss, or matte in your paintbrush. And you're working with decals, something about the varnish, decals are not made to take the brunt of that all the time. They'll deteriorate, it'll break immediately. Oh no. Okay. So guys, 2 down, and we have 4 more to go. You only worry about that if you're poor. Yeah. Got a Richie Rich in chat. Okay. Once again, checking references. So I know, I put the gloss in the wrong spot for the decal I'm most excited for. So I put this decal like it was gonna go up here. It goes on the lower visor. Let's see if my gloss is still wet. Yep. All right. Perfect. Coat that up. Just be sure you put a smooth coat. It's worth it. It's worth the effort. And you can overcoat with your varnishes because this isn't your final seal. This is just to get decals on. Then you can do your rattle can spray at the end. Or that's what I do. You can use airbrush, but I use rattle can varnishes. It's a little more expensive because you get a lot of waste, but I don't want to use airbrush for it. That boy Mikey, maybe you need to go to a doctor. You know, who's that guy that was like, to the WAP song? Oh, what did they say? They were like, well, if she's if she's that wet, she needs to see a doctor. That's so out of context. That was not a comment in the stream. That was a comment on my phone. Oops. I broke the 4th wall. I don't know. Is there a WAP? No. It probably, you know what? There probably is in Nashville. Hey, listen. Got all them country music stars. I'm sure there's a bunch of WAPs. They just probably don't call it that. Probably call it like, let's see. Trying to think of something southern and funny that's not offensive and nothing's coming to mind. All right, let's go. We're just going right into the next decal. Also, I don't know if you guys realized, that one went on, no deterioration, nothing, and we didn't use Microset Microsol. So I don't think these decals are, I don't think we're gonna use any Microset Microsol. I guess the best thing would be going online to see what other people use that have used their decals before. Speedrun. Come on! Man, I hate it. All right. Okay, same thing. Especially because we have a bigger area to work with on this one. Sticking it to the Q-tip. All right. Making sure I know what I'm talking about. Wait, oh no. Got it twisted. No. Okay. Wow, that was a beautiful application. It has to move back just a little bit, but we're good on this one. I did get a little bit of cotton on it. Unfortunately, that's not good. There we go. There we go. Look at that one, guys. Straight on, first shot. I want to move it back just a little bit, but I also am scared to... Man, that's perfect. Let's see if we can get it. Oh, oh. Oh my God, it's happening again. I'm falling apart. Okay. Awesome. So another thing that you can do though, or one thing to be careful of at least, was I not in frame? Oh my God. Sometimes whenever you're dabbing out the moisture, promise. Amazing camera, but I'm also illiterate with technology, so just gonna take a little bit of effort on my part, but I will get that fixed. Wow, that one was the easiest and it was the one I was most stressed about. I guess this one should be, because if it's off center, then it's right in the fucking face of your figure, but I think it's pretty good. If not, one good thing, if you mess up a decal, and it's your one thing that's broken on your figure, right? Just fucking cut it off and just paint. Yeah, you can cuss on Twitch, right? Oh no, I said a naughty. No, sir, naughty. See, okay, now maybe we can see this a little. Let me zoom in here. Yeah, you can definitely see. Unfortunately, our barcode looking. Oop, there we go. See how it deteriorated? One of the corners ripped away. Actually, both corners ripped away. So this is unfortunate, right? But on a figure that's gonna. Oh, why'd I do that? Now you can't see anything. Dumbass. Shit. Okay. Luckily, no one's gonna see that. I might fix it. Honestly, I don't know. Next, we're gonna do the mouthpiece. And so he includes 2 mouthpieces. And he only has 1 Scout Trooper helmet. So I don't know. Fuck. I think I'm gonna use this shorter one. I just think it's gonna look better. I don't know why. I'm probably wrong, but I like it more, so I'm gonna use that one. Now, this is a curved decal, right? Talk about annoying to cut. Please have a sharp X-Acto. Watch your fingers. I don't even want to cut this one out. The reason that it's frustrating is it has to go into a curved surface, right? So if you have any leftover, yeah, I am folding, okay? Jesus Christ. If you have any leftover, I don't even know what to call it, paper on your decal, it's just that's just more that can get in the way of actually having a nice, good seal and finish. So we're gonna go ahead. Oh, we're just gonna go for it. I actually might have to move my mic so I can get closer. I'm gonna push this away just for a minute. I feel like that's bannable, right? To put your feet on a table? Because, like, Twitch isn't stupid. They know people like feet, right? Like, it's like they caught the naked streamers. Surely they catch the foot streamers, too. I don't even know if you guys can hear me. Your head's in the way. Damn it. Yeah, this is really small details. I'm trying. Can you see? Nope. Damn. Nice head. Thanks. God, you could be saying nice pinky toes. Too bad Twitch is anti. Oh my God. So I just cut right in the middle of the decal. So this one we might have to scrap and paint by hand. Sometimes if you ruin the seal. Yeah, but Mikey, I know the channels you go to. So why don't you just calm down there. I say that like you're a deviant. Yeah, I don't know what you do on Twitch, I'll be honest. Oh, one thing that can mess up your decals. Sweaty fingers. Any moisture can activate your decals. Activate the glue and the binding and make them strip off. Yeah, guys, we might have to scrap this one. Unfortunately, that's not the best. Let's see. Yeah. All right. So that one's ruined. Crummy dude feed on Twitch deleting my channel. That's that's fucking crazy. All right, so we ruined a decal. We are gonna go with his other mouth. I don't know why there's two. I'm sure if someone, when I upload this, maybe they'll be able to tell me that I used the wrong one and this one's from a specific scene because people are just smarter than me, but we are just gonna use this one. And I know my head is probably in the way. Maybe you guys can just make fun of my hair because I really want to get this right. This is my last chance. Okay. So you see, we've got a lot of white paper. Oh, dumbass. Okay. We've got a lot of white paper. I don't want to risk cutting this down. Oh, it's not picking. Ow, I just poked myself with an X-Acto. I don't want to risk cutting this down, to be honest. So we are going to try it, and I'm going to see if it can... I'm going to see if it'll adhere and look decent. Oops, I clicked my mic. I don't know what that does. I don't know. Okay. So we're just... Oh, so the decals? I probably need to do some ads on this stream after. So it's by GI. So like, you know, like Go Home GI. GI Trooper Kits on Etsy. He's got an Instagram as well, same at. Amazing quality work. Like, just superb. He does 3D printed kits, which is where... So all of this is from him, the kit as well as the decals. And I actually, because I'm a dumbass, I ordered the kit a long time ago. And then I started working on it way after I bought it. And I realized I didn't have any decals because I forgot that they just don't come with kits by default. Because some people will just paint this stuff, like I was saying earlier. I don't think I have the talent to do that. If there's decals available, I want to try those first. Now, these little helmet guys that are going to go in the back vents, these we might paint. I don't know if I'm going to have the patience to do it. New from... Oh. I don't have Prime. Okay. Same thing, we're just going to speed run. We're going to get this guy on the end of a Q-tip. Glossed. Boom. Slide this one off. Slide it off. Okay. Oh, no. So close, but so far. Can we see? Nope. There we go. All right, well, that excess, the excess paper is kind of putting a damper on things, but luckily it is adhering down okay. Just gonna have to work it down. We might have to put it just a little lower than where it would sit. Okay. Let's get our paintbrush. Not in frame. Darn, sorry guys. That's actually not too bad of a position there. I can see, you guys can see, he, she, Wumbo. We lost some paint, unfortunately, off of the decal. That's really shitty. If you can see that big white paint just came off of the decal. So we're just gonna take it off. That's frustrating. That's really frustrating. But luckily, I have paint and we can do it right now. Oh, damn, that's brutal. All right, gonna grab some paint. Oh, shit. Okay. Oh, cracked the dent already. So I got paint. We got a good backup for actually. Oh, so we're gonna be using cold gray for the curve, and then we're gonna just be using Vallejo black for the. Oh, it's mirrored. Oh, that's not good. Has it been mirrored the whole time? Because you guys can't read that, right? First stream doesn't count. Let me know what you guys think. This should definitely be flipped, right? For the next one, I messed up. Darn. Let me see if I can do it really quick without breaking anything. Okay. Oh, there we go. That was easy. It was one click. Sorry. And let's do... Sorry about that. Wow, that's so unfortunate. So that was... How long? 50 minutes in a mirrored? Darn. Okay. So, going to use the Citadel. These Citadel brushes are amazing, but also you can use a 50-cent brush and get really good quality. As long as keep your brush wet and keep the tip straight. Twist gently, you'll be fine. It's really annoying. Really annoying that we lost the decal. All right, so let me get this in frame. There we go. We're just gonna paint. So it's gloss is the base on there, so it might look a little maybe weird at first, but we'll just matte coat it at the end and we'll be fine. And what we're gonna do, we're just gonna try to clean up these lines just a little bit more. Oh. Oh, okay. It's not exactly even here. But what we can do now, once you get your first coat down, make sure it's pretty dry. And you can take your sharp, be sure it's sharp, right? Sharp X-Acto. And all you're gonna do is just scrape away your excess paint. What it is, I got the paint above where it's supposed to be. It should just be on the very front, I don't know what you call it, plate of the helmet, like the very front of the nose. Yeah, scraping it is already making it look better. If you scrape off a little too much, just be sure that you have whatever, why isn't it focusing? There we go. Whatever base coat that you used, just have a pot of it laying around and you can go touch it up. Now, same thing, we're just gonna clean these lines up. Bring them down to more of a solid, like a sharper point. We're getting close. This side actually might need a little more paint. But we'll see. And yeah, I'm sorry, I do sometimes make sound effects when I paint to keep myself sane. We need a little more paint, unfortunately, on this side. I just want to make it match. Symmetrical designs are never fun. That's why the decals were awesome. But unfortunately, it tore. What is happening here? I can't seem to find the line of this helmet, of this front plate. I think I'm just painting in everything that I already did. That's not bad. There we go. Just clean that up. A little more here. Not gonna lie, a lot of times I do get these things to where they are good enough, right? And to me, I don't know about you guys in the camera, that looks good enough. It's not perfect. It's good enough. I'm very happy with how that looks. And another thing, here's a secret, right? If you're painting details and you notice, that one's a little off, guess what? Weathering. Weathering can cover up a lot of little imperfections. This one is going to be a little bit more difficult because it's his grill, right? It's on the front of the figure. But we can at least get the paint on, see what we think with the teeth, and then clean up. I say teeth, the black. Let me see. So it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So he has 5 individual black. Oh, this sucks. This is why I wanted the decal. All right. So the tips are black. 1, 2. I slipped. Okay. Four. We need 1 in the center. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 black marks. All right. What can look awful and be the most messed up looking mess in your head can turn amazing once you do your cleanup. Sometimes you just got to get the paint on the figure and go from there. This one is going to take some more work. But, you know what? It's not too bad. I'm not mad at that. All right, last 2. So the last 2 decals are going to go in the back of the helmet, here and here. They're in a divot, for the love of God. Surely they go in easy, right? You see? Oh, okay.
So these, actually, we probably don't have to worry about the edges too much, but it's really hard to cut because they're so small. There we go. Sweaty fingers aren't fun. It's a lot easier to cut away excess from straight line shapes too. I keep moving it out of frame. Zoom in just a little bit. There we go. It takes an immense amount of pressure to keep these little tiny papers from spinning. All right, there's one. I'm gonna have both of them just ready to go so we can do them back to back. Tired of this. I'm tired of decals. Honestly, a lot of the kits that I do don't take decals. And I love it. I would much rather hand paint things. But man, decals just look so good. I just don't have the skill. Decal. Okay. So like I said, we're gonna do these back to back. Let's zoom out just a little bit now. Well, it's in the water. Can't see the water. There we go. There you go. Wow, you can really tell that it was mirrored. It makes more sense looking at it now because I would look at my hands and I'm like, oh, that's weird. Okay. Okay. All right. He won't come off. Please. Thank you. Please. All right. So let's go ahead and just get a fresh Q-tip, get it nice and wet. All right, same thing. We're going straight in. Pull off the paper. All right, we're going into a divot on this helmet. Should just be able to pop these guys right in. And look at that. I mean, that's just. And then at this end is dry, but we're gonna go ahead and pop in the other one because we're working on the same part of the figure. You see, there we go. Pop it in. All right, we got our wet Q-tip still, so we're gonna go ahead, get these guys positioned. Might have to use the paintbrush just because we're down in a divot. This one is perfect. We're gonna seal this one in. Yep, need a paintbrush. Nope. Come on. Uh-oh. This one got dry on me somehow. Okay. I might need to. I think I'm going to have to touch these guys up a little bit. It's. Not really liking the coverage. I don't know if you guys can see, but in the hole, for some reason, this corner is white, but there is gray decal there. So it looks like we had some more color. I keep using the word degradation, but I don't know another word for like, it just kind of fading. Dab, dab, dab. Man, you're telling me I would love to crack a beer while painting these right now. Turn this into a hell yeah stream. All right. Yeah, I don't like these. I really don't like these corners. I don't know if a little bit of the paint came off. I know it's on the back of the figure. I'm just not thrilled with it. I'm still not thrilled with this mouth vent thing. Clean it up just a little more. Oh, there we go. You know what? Maybe if we just add a little bit more space. Oh, that's better. Okay. This. So decals, you can't paint on them until you seal them. So we're gonna go ahead and now go all the way around with just matte varnish. And you're just doing one coat, sometimes two, depending on if you can tell that it's not matte finished, like if it actually didn't finish it correctly. And we're just gonna hit all of these with a matte seal. They dry pretty fast. Water evaporates really quickly, so you really don't have to stress too much. You know what? That's not wet enough. We're gonna thin that matte just a little bit. There we go. Give a nice matte coat over our decals. That's so frustrating. I'm so sorry. Okay. This one we're gonna need a lot of seal. It's just a big area. Now, if you have areas around the decal that are still gloss, don't worry about it. The reason that you're doing this is to seal the decals themselves. Whenever you do your final varnish after weathering, that's when you'll see that gloss go away. I've never gloss coated one of my Trooper types before, because the only Imperials I've done, I did an Evo Trooper from Force Unleashed. They're disgusting. They're covered in dirt and mud and filth. So he didn't get any gloss, right? But Imperial armor is always glossy, no matter what. If you look at every movie, video game, Imperial armor is always gloss. Whereas, say or even in the animation, in Rebels, Stormtrooper armor is glossy, even in the animation. Whereas Clone Wars, clones, they don't look glossy, okay? They look like they've been beat to hell because they were, right? So, this is my typical, so this is Commander Jet. This one I finished a long time ago. He's on my Instagram, and it's at Macefully with an underscore. I couldn't get regular Macefully. But it's a matte finish, right? But you can see that matte really makes the gloss on the visor pop. Let me see if I can get just a little bit better view of that. Focus. There we go. How that gloss pops against the matte of the armor. So everything I've done has been matte pretty much. I'm really trying to think if I've ever done gloss. I think I used a little bit of gloss on Lord Starkiller on his armor. No, this is a semi-gloss matte. See, it's just got a little bit more of a sheen to it to make it look metallic. But gloss visor. So this one should be interesting. I'm really interested to see how weathering is going to go, because I'm going to weather all the armor and then coat it in semi-gloss. So I don't know if I'll need to go back over where I weathered and do little touches of the matte varnish. So, let's see, how long have I been streaming? Hour and 10, 9:40, where I'm at. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit more weathering before calling it quits for the day. I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. So now we can get all this decal stuff out of the way. So whenever I do weathering, where's my black paint? There we go. I do a combination of a few things. A lot of people they do the edge highlighting where they take and highlight every edge no matter what. Me, I just don't like doing that. I like to do a mix. I like to make it look realistic, like it makes sense. So this guy was in the snow. Obviously, he's gonna have soot and like dirt around his boots. His armor is not gonna be white anymore. There's gonna be rock chips, soot, because he's an Imperial. They just destroy stuff all the time. It's gonna be a lot of different things. So we're gonna take a look at using kind of a combination of our two makeup palettes. So the first thing I think I want to do for the undersuit is actually just use some black. So one thing, whenever you're using these weathering palettes, right, it is literally like makeup. It will get everywhere. So you have to clean your fingers whenever you're touching your figure. So what I do, typically I'll just wet them, wipe them on my rag before I pick up the figure. And you just take the brush end. Yeah. Sephora. So we're gonna do a little bit of soot. We're just gonna lightly brush. And I'm gonna do one side first, one side of the figure on his legs, so that you can see the comparison and you guys can give me your opinions on if you like it or not. Me, I love it. I think if you don't want to overdo it, you don't want to use a heavy hand, because then your guy just looks like he took a bath in soot. But if you can just find this right balance, pinky toe contouring with soot and snow, okay? Yeah, I mean, it might look good. I don't know. I hate feet, so I probably hate it. All right. So let's see if we can show the difference in just like, well, that was 5 seconds, right? Just 5 seconds of weathering. And we go, you see on this leg, it's just slightly darker. You've got the folds where you can see in the pants more. We're gonna add a little bit more on the inside of the leg. Bro, drop the feet, Jesus. So now, I really like the way this came out. Oh, and obviously, so this is gonna be all matte finish down here. The armor is what's gonna have the semi-gloss. So now we're gonna go ahead, do the same thing on this leg. Basically, everywhere that's undersuit, we're gonna add a little bit of soot. It just brings your figure to life, right? It also, one thing I don't like about Hasbro, why are hips and legs gloss? Who wears gloss colored clothes, right? It's frustrating because you're buying a figure, which granted, Hasbro figures are cheap, right? They're $20, well, 25 now. For it to look more lifelike, you've got to do work. And most of the time the work is worth it. But it would be nice to just go pick up a new figure and you're just like, wow, that looks straight out of the movie. Shiny plastic does not look straight out of a movie. So like I said, everywhere where we see undersuit, we're using soot. It's a little bit harder on the arms because I don't really want to get the armor too dirty yet. I want to be more particular with how we're going to do the armor. Because armor is going to have carbon scoring. Armor is going to have, well, I guess not on stormtroopers, but you'd have like silver metallic if you have a trooper who's using metal armor. Look at these guys, just going to be carbon scoring,
some scuffs. Scuffing can be really fun. You just basically just use a little bit of sandpaper and just scuff the armor a little bit. It's really fun. You just don't want to overdo it because then it looks like, or in my opinion, I know some people love to make their figures look like they've just been through hell. But to me, I like it just to be a little more subdued. All right, so I know I didn't do before and afters, but I hope it's coming through in the camera. Just a little bit of black really brings out the details of this suit. The sculpts are amazing. Like the amount of little folds and creases and texturing in the cloth that you can get in a Hasbro figure for $20 is amazing. It's about bringing out that detail. So this middle section, this midsection armor is actually just cloth too. So same thing. Gonna hit it with just a little bit of black here and there. It's just a different material. It's on the costume, it's actually a separate piece and it is white. So we're gonna go ahead and hit that. Bring out some of these details. Try to get some more. I think actually we need some more on the brush. Thanks, I appreciate that. Yeah, I think just this little bit of work. Yeah, exactly. And my only stress on this figure is this one's so unique because I've never done, I need it to be matte and also gloss. So I think the move is gonna be, we're gonna pop off the armor that we can pop off, like the knee pads, chest armor, back armor, obviously the helmet, it's not even on. We'll weather those and seal them separately with semi-gloss. And then this shoulder pads and the gauntlets are built onto the figure. So I might have to get creative with how I get the gloss to come out on those. But you know what? We're gonna go ahead and pop that off. So like I said, if you're gonna touch stuff that you don't want to be weathered, especially not with fingerprints, this stuff will leave perfect fingerprints on your figures. Get your fingers just wet. You can even just scrub them in your paint tin, which I can use my paint tin because I haven't actually painted really. I haven't had to get a lot of paint out of my brushes yet. We look and just double check your fingers. And now we're gonna just take and pop this armor off. So the way I install armor on my figures from 3D kits, typically, blue tack. If I ever break something, if it falls, shatters, I don't have to worry about then breaking the figure again to get off the kit. If I super glue, and blue tack, as you can see, holds really well. So yeah, armor pieces are gonna get weathered separately. And by us taking that off, I was having issues getting in here right now. We can take and actually hit everywhere in here. I didn't Dremel off the Hasbro straps from the Snowtrooper body because first, they're the same color as the undersuit. It was just laziness, they're just not painted. Second, I don't have a good way to cover it up with the back armor. And by not Dremeling, it actually gets covered by the back armor and the straps that come over, if that makes sense. These actually end up covering most of this. All right, so get a little bit more black on here, down in the grooves, crevices. These pouches, we're gonna do a little bit, I don't even know what to call it. I wanna call it like speckling, but whenever you essentially punch the armor with the brush, it hits all these edges. Because I don't know if you guys have ever seen, military gear, it's always worn, no matter what the material is. If it's the Kevlar, like Kevlar vests and things, pouches, no matter how high dollar, the edges are always frayed in a slightly different color. With white kits or with white armor, white doesn't really weather into anything other than like maybe a little bit of a tan. So I figure we hit it with dirt, soot. Snow gets really muddy and messy. And especially if you're in a war zone, it gets black because you have ash and things from fires, explosions. So that's the weathering idea in my head. If you guys have recommendations, let me know, but I think it'll look pretty realistic. And also you can look up pictures of the filming from Empire Strikes Back, and their kits they have like that black, grayish color. And that's the good thing about this. It doesn't just go on black, right? Like you wouldn't look at this and say, oh, it's got black like shit or stuff smeared all over it. You would think, oh, he's been through some grime. Gray snow type beat. Yeah, exactly. Oh, you know what? I forgot to take off the knee pads. Also, this guy is ready for some knee action because I left on his original knee pads because I didn't want to Dremel them off, because the actual good scale knee pads completely cover them. So we'll take these off as well. Oh my God. Don't want to break them. Okay. All right, and so for the boots, not a lot of snow look, right? I don't think. So we are gonna we might have to use our other brush. See, this one I really haven't used too much. It's more of a sand kind of desert palette. We're still gonna use this a little bit on the armor to lighten up some of the blackish points. But for now, we're gonna take and get some white. See there? And we're gonna try to make these boots look more like they've got some white snow in their creases. Okay. Oh, and this stuff is powder, right? It gets everywhere. So as you can see, my desk will need a good clean after this weathering, but it's so worth it. And we are gonna take and we're really gonna cake this stuff in. I really want the idea that he's been in the snow to come through. I didn't want to go as far as using the snow effects, where it's actual powder that you kind of sprinkle and seal into your figure. I didn't want to go that far. But look at that. I don't know if it's coming through in the camera, but these are at least 2 shades whiter just from this white powder. And whenever you seal it with your matte spray, it just makes it look so uniform. We're gonna do the same thing with our armor, with our clothes. See how we're taking down some of the too black of a tone, where it looked too sooty, and now it's looking more of a mix. Oh no. All right, and see, this is what I'm talking about. So if we look, my fingers got dirty on the top somehow, don't know how, and now we have soot in collection points all over the top of the figure. So now this stuff is kind of hard to get off of a figure, but we're gonna have to work on it. Womp womp. So we're gonna stand him up. I've had luck using a wet Q-tip to get it off. I don't even know what this stuff actually is made of, this powder. Oops. Maybe I should look that up because I breathe it. But, so we're just gonna take this wet Q-tip. Just try to rub this right off. And yeah, it's coming slowly but surely. It is coming off. One thing you just gotta be careful of. It's frustrating to have to, you really have to dig in there. If anything, I might actually end up, I'm just gonna put a little bit more white paint on there. There we go. See that the neck fixed easy. But this armor, the shoulder, has it in that groove still. And it is not coming out. But I think we are done with the undersuit. So we're gonna set that to the side. Please stand up. There we go. Gonna move to our armor. We do have the hands that we need to do it on as well, but we'll come back to those. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna have to use some water. You don't want to use like a full layer of your base coat, but yeah, I'm just gonna have to take just a tiny watered down amount and do a little pass over that shoulder, which is annoying, but it's worth it for the final product. I don't want to go super heavy weathering on this armor. He's a scout trooper, so yeah, he's dragging himself around, but he shouldn't have a ton of carbon scoring, right? He's a scout. He's sneaking around. He's a sniper. That's, at least in my head, that's why it makes sense for him not to get super dirty. I'm gonna do these hands last, because God, I hate doing hands. All right. All right. And I have this nifty, I'll show this off really quick. Got this from Amazon DE. Comes with metal alligator clips. Honestly, a lifesaver for trying to keep things out of splash and spill. Let's see. All right. Is that everything we need to do? Yes. I always love starting with the helmet. The helmet kind of sets your vibe for the whole figure. All right. And looking at it, I'm trying to think. So one thing we definitely want to do is show, because it's an all white trooper, you want to use a little bit of soot just to bring out a little bit of the edges. I don't ever do what's called like edge highlighting, like a true edge highlight. Never. I've never done that before. I won't ever do it. I don't think it looks natural, especially at this scale. But what we'll do is just see, look. Just that light little flick makes it look like his just helmet got a splash. It's just dirty. Scout troopers ride speeder bikes, right? So these ear cups, I don't actually know what they are. In my head canon, they amplify sound. But that's going to catch some wind. So we want to hit that and do a drag. I call it like a drag back, so that it collects on this edge and then tapers off towards the back of the helmet. And you can be ginger with this stuff. You can be heavy too. If you want to figure, hey, I want this dude to look dirty, do it. It's your stuff. This is just how I prefer it. And see, on this side, you never want your weathering to match. I don't know if you guys know this. Nature is mean and it does things differently. So this side, just a slight little black on this edge, and this side he got caught with something, right? On the back. So at the top of the head, we'll do a little bit. Mouthpiece. In the cheek. And I'm honestly pretty happy with it the way that it is now. I don't overdo it. I don't want to. I want there to be enough integrity left to where, sorry, I was looking at the wrong screen to see what was in frame. I don't know, I just don't like them looking too muddy, too over the top. So that's where we'll leave the head for now. So now, next. Normally I would do shoulders next, but because they're on the body and I have to touch up a shoulder, we're gonna move to the chest armor. I love this style of armor. I don't know what it is. I adore the way this looks. I think it looks like space body armor. And I know it's stupid, but because it doesn't stop anything, but man, it's cool looking. And it's the same armor like General Veers wears, Thrawn wears in Rebels, like that same style. So I love that we have a scout trooper that gets to wear it. So this armor, we see we have this ridge on the very front. This I want to look like it's caught some wind. So just see, okay, so this edge is very dark now. So now we'll taper off. I don't want the whole thing like that though. And I'm trying to do it in a way that makes sense naturally. If I'm riding a speeder bike, all the air is hitting me from here. I'm not getting hit from this way, like from the rear. So why would I take and drag weathering from the back to front? Your chin, if you look at a scout, he's kind of like sitting forward on the speeder bike. That's stupid. So we're gonna add just a little bit more like down into the armor, under the chin. And I think we need a little bit more on our brush and just a little more on our sides. And then for a good measure, just on the armor. So now like this corner of his armor just got a little bit more dirty. These little straps, we can just add a little, we can add some too, because this is a recess. Recesses always catch more dirt. How they say for? Oh yeah, you know, they like stand over there like, you know. Just ran over my lamp. Hey, but that's how I think. I know it's stupid, but that's how I think when I make these figures. It's like, okay, how would this guy actually be working? How would he actually do any of this? Damn, this is making me so mad. This is stupid. So one more thing. We have this big recess in the armor. What trooper is going to go and clean out gunk from this hole? So we're going to try to just... I'm going to try to get it on one side of the brush and just speckle it down in there. Oh, that's perfect. Kind of just collect the dirt at the bottom. And I think we call it good there. I'm happy with that. So I know we were just talking about the back of the armor. How is the back of his armor going to get that dirty? Right? So maybe it'll catch some air from the side. Maybe he was laying on his back. So if you're laying on your back, I feel like this armor would be incredibly uncomfortable, but maybe you'd have a pressure point right here. So maybe we'll just add a little bit of scuffing right here on the bottom where he's been leaning back on his armor. Because there, you can't lay flat. You would be propped up on the actual, I don't know, nub of the armor. From the top, sitting forward, yeah, I would say we have a little bit of dirt accumulation up here and just on the very shoulders edges. That's it, right? We're not gonna, I don't think we should really weather too much in here. Doesn't make sense to me. But from the back, looks solid. What else? What else do we have? All right, we got knees. Knees are dirty. You know, constantly, you know, taking cover, standing up, moving. If he's riding a speeder bike, it's always catching air. I don't want them to look disgusting though, but we are gonna try to go a little heavier. Pretty much everywhere on our knee armor. Like I said, he's ready for knee work, so gotta make him look like it. Damn. Okay. Some tweezers to pick this up. Squeeze. Okay. So now I really want to see if the camera can catch a good comparison between the two. So look at our weathered here and our unweathered. See how you can just see that detail so much better. So on our knees as well. I really want to add some sandy type. Oh. Like you got through the snow maybe, got into some dirt. Oh, that's awesome. There we go. I don't know if the camera's gonna pick it up. Yeah, there we go. A little bit of like dirt, sand color. And the same thing we're gonna try. Let's add, you know what? Let's splash a little bit of dirty onto the bottom of our, there we go. Perfect. Tap on the parts like ASMR video. Oh, okay. I can't. No, I can't. They'll get dirty. Sorry. I can do it on a paint bottle. Here. All right, we're going to take an ASMR break. So, I don't think this mic is working. I don't know if I can do it. Okay, so we're looking at our paint. Vallejo Cold Gray. Ooh. Yes. Very nice. Oh. Hey, you're the one who asked for it. All right. Next. Have to do their next knee pad. Same thing. I don't want to make these match. Should not match. But they're going to look pretty close. There's nothing you can really do about that if you're trying to... I'll fix my mic and do it next time. Okay. Yeah, I need to fix the mic. That's an issue. If you're going for heavy weather, a lot of the time it's going to be kind of difficult not to make them look the same. But we'll get to that last whenever we do our carbon scoring. Just to differentiate, make sure they look a little bit different. Same thing, we want to do our sand. And I think for sand we did the side, so let's just do, that's annoying. Let's do from the bottom, just all over just the very bottom. Yeah, perfect. All right, hands are disgusting. Let's see. Oh, I haven't even showed these, except for the very beginning. We're gonna add a little bit of weathering to our binos. And I think that would just be, I mean, they get beat up. This, I definitely want to add some metallic weathering, or metallic scratches too, because soldiers beat up their kits. You know, it happens. You're in the field, things get dropped, dinged, thrown. I'm hoping that there was still like pranks in the Stormtrooper Corps. Poor guys. And just a light, almost like a wash that we're doing on the binos. Monos, I don't even know what the hell to call it. All right, so now we have most weathering done. What we could do, I could matte coat the whole figure and then use some paper and block just to do some semi-gloss on the armor. That's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna go ahead and, oh my God. We're gonna go ahead and weather the whole figure. I wanna go ahead and get it done. But I have to get that off. Let's see. My impatience is coming through. I really don't want to stop. So I'm going to turn this into a scuff. Scuffing is really, it is what you want to make it. Just keep in mind the scale of your figures. So if you take into a giant scratch with your X-Acto, you have to think, oh, sorry, you can't see? So remember there was a big pile of just weathering here, pile of weathering of the powder. So I'm going to turn it into a scuff. Scuffing, whenever you're looking at this scale, you just have to keep in mind what could make that scuff. You don't want to put giant scratches in things. You want to like mark up just a surface. Okay. And so if you can look, let's see, focus, come on. See how it just looks marked up there now? Now what we'll do is we'll add a carbon score. He got a grazing blast. That's what I'm gonna say. Now let's dirty up some armor. Once again, we gotta be very careful not to get our fingers into everything. Okay, so I just got a pretty heavy mark here. So now I know I need to be gentle going across here. Just don't want to add too much and take away from your good paint job that you did on your figure, you know. Out of frame. Is it focusing up? Focus up, please. Okay. Wrist gauntlets, I think, should be dirty. Your arms are constantly bashing into things. They're constantly on their belly, you know, observing their scouts. I think they should be very dirty. So that's how we're going to make it. We're also going to add some actual scuffing with some black paint as well. I'm gonna go apeshit on this camera. I know it's my fault, but I still blame technology. There we go. I'm really liking how that's looking weathered. And before we call it quits on weathering, I always put the figure, oh my God, I always put the figure together completely to make sure that the weathering flows all as one. Whenever you run into, say you do weathering in 2 different sessions on the same figure, sometimes your brain is in a different place and you're thinking about things differently. And your figure looks like his arms were in one battle and then his chest was on a completely different planet. And I've had to completely redo figures before. It's frustrating, but you'll hate yourself if you don't just redo it. Oh, that looks great. There we go. Okay. Next, we are going to pick a set of hands because I don't want to do all the hands on camera. They're so boring. I think we're going to do, actually we'll do 2 sets. We'll do the set that comes with the figure, and then we'll do our relaxed hands, and we'll call it good on weathering. Same thing, hands, you're constantly punching things and like taking things out of bags, scuffing up your armor. So we are going to make sure that they look like it. The glove portion, I am not worried about weathering gloves. It already looks weathered from doing the actual paint on the jorking my peanuts. It already looks weathered from how I had to paint the undersuit, right? So the undersuit color that I use for the gloves, because not everything is the same color, is the bone white from Vallejo. I love this color. It's a perfect like eggshell off-white vibe. I don't even know if that's what you'd call it. It's almost tan. But one thing about hands, you're going to be constantly, if you're like me, I love to display my figures in certain ways. You're constantly going to be taking weapons in and out of the hands, the binoculars, switching it out for the pistol, the rifle. That paint's going to rub off. There's nothing you can do. So there's no point in going heavy on the finger part. I didn't even paint the insides so that hopefully paint wouldn't rub off on the weapons. Okay. Dumbass. Why'd I try that? Let's see. Yeah, all right, and relaxed hands will be last. One thing that I do love about custom hand sets, talk about adding personality to a figure that's, 6 inches tall. If your figure just has these, it's called like, I think they call them C-grip hands all the time, where you're just standing like this, like constantly. It just doesn't make sense. And so if you can pose your figures, just give them that much more life, especially if you're trying to sell figures to people, right? Like I want to try to do commissions and share this with people. I want them to be able to really enjoy it. Commissions are expensive, and hands don't take that much time. They're just annoying, right? So I think it's worth it to give people a little bit more enjoyment. I just never have done it for myself, which doesn't make sense. Only figure I've done it for is actually I have him right here. Probably one of, if not my favorite figures I've ever made. Just a plain white Clone Commando. This is the Kamino and Customs version of the kit. It's just amazing. I love this figure so much. I hated making it though. That's why I haven't made any other Commandos. It's so much dremeling and so much effort. Maybe I'll make some soon. I need at least one Omega Squad all black Commando, but learned a lot with that figure. It was fun. All right, so let's wash the fingers. Normally I would go ahead and seal the figure, but I'm really nervous that the weathering isn't going to go together. So we are going to go ahead and put the figure together before I seal. Now it's all about not getting the figure disgusting while I'm doing it. All right, let's see. You know what? I'm acting like a caveman. We have technology. I can use tools. And my tools are betraying me. I regret my decision of taking off the armor now. Because if you put your thumb into this weathering, it just adds fingerprints. So you know what? I'm actually going to seal the figure. I do not want to ruin what I've got going. I'm really happy with it. We can do a little look just on camera here. Yeah, that's looking great. All right, so I think we're gonna have to call it there for the night, as I cannot seal this figure and get back in a timely fashion. Probably will seal it off camera and come back maybe tomorrow night for a little more work to see what everything looks like. Ooh, also, okay, let's seal these up. Exciting thing for tomorrow. So I'll probably go ahead and weather the rest of the hands too, off camera, just if I get some time. Need to find my Nuln Oil to do the blaster. We need to do that reddish tint that I want to do on the lenses. And that'll be on the blaster, rifle, sniper, the sniper as well. And if time allows, we can go ahead, we can actually start weathering. So this is the next figure that I'm working on as well, which is way more done than the Scout. I just got really motivated to work on the Scout, which is the Rookie from ODST. This one I've put so much time and effort into, worked through some print quality issues because I had to order this kit. It's kind of a learning process. I ordered decals that just disintegrated except for this. So, which is his blood type, which is awesome to have. It's just unfortunate. We're gonna have to paint over a few things before I weather. But yeah, I think that's where we're at. So I think, honestly, one more stream and the scout's done. And might be able to finish the rookie in a stream as well. And then, you know what, sneak peek on the last, or on the third kit. Well, I'll start after these two. This one is not anywhere near as done as these two guys, but final sneak peek. I'm working on a Spartan from Halo Infinite. I love Halo. Oh yeah, the rookie's from Halo in case people aren't Halo fans, but my wife played Halo Infinite with me when it first came out. She hates Halo, absolutely despises it. I get it, she hates it, but I love it. And she went and played that game with me for weeks. And we made it to Onyx in ranked, and this was her ranked Onyx Spartan. We bought the cat ears and everything, matched. We were disgusting. And so I really want to immortalize that. So this one has a nice, it's this candy pink. It's beautiful. The white is almost a pearlescent white. I don't know if the camera can pick it up. Look at me, I'm getting ahead of myself. It's like that metallic sheen almost. It's beautiful. And the visor is going to be a real treat to do. It's going to be like this candy chrome red that I still have to figure out how to do. So that'll be live on stream, just trying to figure it out. But yeah, all right. Calling it good. I think that was a lot of fun. Should have the VODs uploaded to YouTube. So if you watch this later, anybody, thank you so much. First stream. Appreciate it. Gonna get some things figured out. See ya.